In the last episode, Mr. Smart briefly discussed the tax history of the USA and explained how the poor and middle class get snared in the tax trap. Let us now see how the rich outsmarted this Robin Hood tax system. The rich knew about the powers of a corporation since the time of sailing ships. They used to create corporations, put a limited amount of money in it, and finance a voyage via their corporation. In this way, they limited their risk to the amount of money they put in that particular corporation. If the ship was lost and its crew lost their lives, the rich were liable to the limited money they initially put in the corporation. In this way, they secured their personal wealth in case of a disaster. In the modern days, the rich spend heavily from the pre-tax money of their corporation. Their visits to Las Vegas can be board meetings, insurance, car payments. Their health club and travel bills can be company expenses from pre-tax money. In this way, the rich have outsmarted the Robin Hood tax system. Here it is noteworthy that a corporation is simply a file with a few legal documents in it placed somewhere in an attorney's office. It is a legal entity which secures the rich. The appetite for governments for money has always been increasing because those government officials are considered more efficient who spend their budgeted funds completely. If they do not exhaust them, these funds will be squashed in the next budget. So the more government officials spend, the more efficient they are considered. Contrarily, in the private sector, doing more with limited money is appreciated. That is how the governments exploit the Robin Hood tax system for the advantage of government officials and the rich. This Robin Hood approach has backfired for the poor and middle class. The rich have outsmarted this tax system by hiring smart accountants and attorneys to exploit the loopholes which the politicians have made for the benefit of the rich. Dear viewers, do you think that this tax regime is fair and just? If not, what changes would you suggest in the tax regime of your country? Your fellow viewers and Mr. Smart are waiting for your opinion. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button below. Don't hesitate if you have any question about personal finance. Moreover, let us know of which personal finance book you want reviewed next. Mr. Smart would love your questions and suggestions. Subscribe to your very own YouTube channel, Mr. Smart, and hit the bell button for notifications. It's totally free. Dear viewers, this animated review series is not a substitute of the original book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which Robert Kiyosaki has written like a story based on his own life. This book is the best-selling personal finance book of all times, with around 30 million copies sold in more than 100 countries. This book is translated in more than 50 languages. This book is a must-read for aspiring entrepreneurs who are currently entrapped in the rat race of get up, go to a job, and pay bills. Mr. Smart highly recommends you to thoroughly read this book. British philosopher and statesman Francis Bacon once said, "Some books should be tasted, some devoured, but only a few should be chewed and digested thoroughly." Rich Dad, Poor Dad is one such phenomenal book which should be chewed and digested. You can find the link in the description for the audio version as well as the hard copy of this book.